Have you ever felt like your mind isn't as sharp as it used to be? Or perhaps you've noticed that little things, like remembering names or recalling a phone number, are starting to slip through the cracks more often. You're not alone. As we age, it's natural to experience some changes in our memory and mental clarity. But here's something not everyone knows: certain foods could be contributing to that decline. Yes, that's right. What we eat might actually be harming our brain health without us even realizing it. In today's video, we're going to talk about 4 common foods that doctors warn could be quietly destroying your brain. I know, it sounds pretty serious, but don't worry, knowing what these foods are and understanding why they're harmful is the first step toward taking control of your brain health. And the good news is, you can easily make some changes in your diet to protect yourself. Now, I know what you might be thinking: I've been eating these foods for years, and I'm still fine. It's understandable to feel that way. After all, the effects of what we eat aren't always immediate. But as we get older, our bodies, especially our brains, become more sensitive to certain things. The food we eat plays a huge role in how well our brains function. So, let's dive in and take a closer look at the first 2 foods that could be sneaking into your diet and affecting your brain without you even knowing it. Let's start with sugar. Yes, I know it's a tough one, especially when that sweet treat calls your name after dinner. But let me explain why sugar is one of the biggest culprits when it comes to brain health. You see, sugar doesn't just affect your waistline, it can actually change the way your brain works. When you consume too much sugar, it spikes your blood glucose levels, which causes inflammation. And this inflammation can affect the brain in a variety of harmful ways, including impairing your memory and cognitive functions. Think about it. Have you ever eaten something sugary and noticed that you feel sluggish afterward? That's your brain reacting to the sugar overload. Studies have shown that a high-sugar diet can actually speed up the aging of the brain, making it more prone to things like Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. So, while that piece of cake or sugary soda may seem harmless in the moment, over time, those little indulgences could be doing more harm than good. But don't worry, I'm not saying you need to completely cut out sugar from your life. Instead, it's about moderation. You can still enjoy your favorite treats, but try to keep them in check. Choosing natural sweeteners like honey or stevia, or even reaching for fruits when you want something sweet, can be a great way to satisfy your cravings without the damaging effects of refined sugar. Now, let's talk about processed foods. I'm sure you've heard this one before, but it's worth repeating. Processed foods are packed with unhealthy fats, preservatives, and artificial ingredients that can be harmful to your brain. These foods are often high in trans fats and omega-6 fatty acids, which, in excess, can promote inflammation in the brain. Inflammation, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the leading causes of cognitive decline as we age. Think about all the processed snacks that are so easy to grab: chips, cookies, and those quick frozen meals that are so convenient when you're short on time. While they might taste good and save you a few minutes in the kitchen, they're often doing more harm than good to your brain. The preservatives and artificial additives used in these foods can interfere with the brain's ability to function properly, affecting everything from your focus and memory to your mood. What's even more troubling is that some of these processed foods can also contribute to other health problems like high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity, which, as we know, can further increase the risk of cognitive decline. It's not that you can never enjoy these foods, but limiting them and choosing fresher, whole foods when you can will definitely help keep your brain and your body healthier in the long run. Now that we've covered the first 2 offenders, sugar and processed foods, let's take a moment to think about how these changes can be made in a realistic and manageable way. If you're used to having a sugary snack every day, don't feel like you need to quit cold turkey. Try gradually replacing your sugary treats with something healthier. Maybe swap out a candy bar for some fresh fruit, or have a handful of nuts instead of chips. Small changes like this can make a big difference in the long run. In the next part of this video, we'll dive into the other 2 foods that might be impacting your brain health. But for now, take a moment to reflect on your own diet. Are there areas where you could cut back on sugar or processed foods? Even just a little less of these foods could go a long way in improving your cognitive function and overall well-being. Let's continue our journey toward better brain health together in the next part, where we'll look at 2 more foods that could be silently sabotaging your mental sharpness. Alright, now that we've covered sugar and processed foods, let's move on to the next 2 foods that doctors say could be quietly harming your brain. You might not realize it, but these foods are so common in our diets and can have a surprisingly strong impact on your cognitive health. Let's talk about them and see how you can make small adjustments to protect your mind. The third food on our list is one that many people love to snack on: fried foods. Whether it's fried chicken, French fries, or those crispy appetizers that are so tempting at restaurants, it's hard to resist that crunchy goodness. However, as delicious as they may be, fried foods are loaded with harmful oils and fats that can do a lot of damage to your brain over time. Here's the thing: when foods are fried, especially at high temperatures, they can form what are called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These compounds are known to increase inflammation in the body, and unfortunately, that inflammation doesn't stay in one place. It can affect your brain too, leading to decreased cognitive function, memory problems, and a higher risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Plus, these fried foods are often made with oils that contain high levels of trans fats, which are even worse for your brain health. And it's not just about how fried foods affect your brain in the long run. Eating too many fried foods can also contribute to poor circulation and high cholesterol, both of which are bad news for brain health. If your blood isn't flowing properly, your brain isn't getting the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function at its best. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to give up fried foods completely. You don't have to take away every little indulgence from your life. But it's important to be aware of how often you're reaching for those crispy options. Try baking or grilling your favorite dishes instead of frying them, and choose healthy fats, like olive oil, when cooking. These small switches can make a huge difference in preserving your brain health as you get older. The fourth and final food that could be harming your brain is artificial sweeteners. You've probably seen them in diet sodas, sugar-free snacks, or low-calorie treats. On the surface, these sweeteners might seem like a great alternative to sugar, especially if you're trying to watch your weight or blood sugar levels. But recent studies are showing that these artificial sugars might not be as harmless as they appear. Research suggests that artificial sweeteners, such as aspartame and sucralose, can have negative effects on the brain. While they don't spike your blood sugar like regular sugar does, they can still interfere with your brain's natural function. One of the major concerns is how artificial sweeteners affect the brain's chemistry and the way it processes signals. Some studies have shown that these sweeteners might actually mess with the balance of important neurotransmitters in the brain, which are responsible for mood regulation, memory, and overall cognitive function. And that's not all. Some studies have even suggested that artificial sweeteners can lead to an increased craving for sweet foods, making it harder to break the cycle of eating too many sugary foods. It's like the brain gets tricked into thinking it's getting something sweet, but when it doesn't get the calories it expects, it might make you crave more sugary or carb-heavy foods. This can lead to weight gain and other health issues, all of which indirectly affect brain health. It's not easy to completely eliminate artificial sweeteners, especially if you've grown accustomed to using them in your daily routine. But here's an idea: try to gradually reduce your intake. If you drink diet soda every day, consider swapping it out for sparkling water or herbal tea. For sweet snacks, try using natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup in moderation. You don't have to give up sweetness entirely, just look for more natural options that won't harm your brain. So, to recap what we've covered so far, sugar, processed foods, fried foods, and artificial sweeteners are all culprits that could be damaging your brain over time. While it's important to enjoy life and indulge in your favorite foods from time to time, being aware of the long-term effects of these choices can make a big difference in your overall health and cognitive function. But here's the good news: there's always room to make small changes. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Little swaps and conscious choices can go a long way in keeping your brain sharp and your mind feeling young. Before we move on to the next part, I want you to take a moment and think about your own eating habits. Do any of these foods sneak into your daily routine? Are there areas where you could cut back or make healthier choices? Remember, it's not about being perfect, but about making better choices for yourself and your brain's long-term health. Now that we've covered these 4 foods, let's shift gears and talk about some practical steps you can take to protect your brain and keep it sharp. Stick with me as we dive into some tips for building a brain-boosting diet and lifestyle that will help you feel and think better at any age. Now that we've covered the 4 foods that could be affecting your brain health: sugar, processed foods, fried foods, and artificial sweeteners, let's turn our focus to how we can make some positive changes. It's easy to feel a little overwhelmed when we learn that some of our favorite foods aren't the best for us, but here's the thing: you have the power to take control of your brain health. It's all about making small, mindful choices that add up over time. First off, let's talk about the importance of eating whole, nutrient-dense foods. I know, it might sound a bit boring or overwhelming, but trust me, this can make a world of difference when it comes to supporting brain function. Fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats, these are the building blocks of a brain-boosting diet. For example, berries are known for their antioxidant-rich properties. Antioxidants help protect the brain from oxidative stress, which is like rust for the brain. Foods like blueberries, strawberries, and even dark chocolate, in moderation, can help reduce inflammation and improve memory. And let's not forget about leafy greens like spinach and kale, which are loaded with vitamins and minerals that support brain health. These foods contain compounds like vitamin K, lutein, and folate, all of which play a key role in cognitive function. Another brain-friendly food group is healthy fats. Now, when I say healthy fats, I don't mean the greasy, fried kinds we just talked about. Instead, I'm talking about fats that are good for your brain, like those found in avocados, olive oil, and fatty fish like salmon. These fats are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for maintaining brain health. Omega-3s help protect the brain's neurons, improve communication between brain cells, and even support memory function. So, if you haven't already, consider adding more of these foods into your meals. They're not only delicious but incredibly good for your brain. But brain health isn't just about what you eat. It's also about how you live. Getting enough physical activity is one of the best things you can do for your brain. You don't need to run marathons or hit the gym for hours. Even simple activities like going for a brisk walk, stretching, or doing a little yoga can have a significant positive impact. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, helps to reduce stress, and supports the growth of new brain cells. Yes, you heard that right. Even as we age, we have the ability to grow new neurons with regular physical activity. I know many of us have heard about the importance of staying active, but it's even more crucial as we age. Just 20 to 30 minutes of moderate exercise a few times a week can help improve memory, focus, and overall mental clarity. It doesn't need to be intense, it just needs to be consistent. Let's also talk about sleep. I can't emphasize this enough: getting enough sleep is essential for brain health. When we sleep, our brains go into repair mode, clearing out toxins that build up during the day and consolidating memories. Unfortunately, many of us struggle with sleep as we get older, whether it's due to stress, health conditions, or simply getting into bed too late. But a lack of sleep can severely affect memory, concentration, and even mood. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. If that's a challenge, try to establish a relaxing nighttime routine, avoid caffeine in the afternoon, and keep your bedroom cool and dark to help improve your sleep quality. Now, I know all of this sounds like a lot to keep track of, but remember, small steps lead to big changes. You don't need to completely overhaul your lifestyle all at once. Start by incorporating 1 or 2 of these habits into your routine, and as you get comfortable with them, add more. Even simple things, like switching out a sugary snack for a handful of nuts, or taking a 15-minute walk each day, can start making a difference in how your brain feels and functions. Also, don't forget about mental exercise. Keeping your brain active is just as important as physical activity. This can be as simple as doing crossword puzzles, reading a book, or learning a new skill. The more you challenge your brain, the better it will be at staying sharp. It's like going to the gym for your mind. And the good news is, you don't have to do anything too complicated. If you're someone who loves puzzles, that's perfect. If you enjoy a good story, reading is an excellent mental workout. Even trying something new, like learning to cook a new recipe or picking up an instrument, can give your brain a great workout. I hope you're starting to see how everything we've talked about today comes together. What you eat, how you move, how well you sleep, and how you keep your brain active all play a crucial role in your mental health. The truth is, it's never too late to make changes. No matter your age, small shifts in your lifestyle can help protect your brain, improve your memory, and even boost your mood. As we wrap up this video, I want to leave you with a message of hope and empowerment. Your brain is an incredible organ, capable of doing amazing things at any stage of life. It's never too late to take care of it and start making choices that support your mental well-being. So, start small, take it one step at a time, and give your brain the love and care it deserves. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any favorite brain-boosting foods or habits that you swear by? Let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing your tips and experiences. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful content just like this. Here's to living your best life at any age, mentally sharp, healthy, and happy. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourself.